Hello and welcome to Parma and the Stadio Sergio Lanfranchi for the opening match in round 3 of the Women's Six Nations Championship for 2019. With England out on top after back-to-back wins, bonus point wins at that, Ireland and Italy will be hoping to keep within touching distance here this evening, with the winner guaranteed 4 points to close the gap on the Red Roses. So as you can see, first game tonight in round 3 takes place in just a couple of minutes' time. Italy against Ireland. Later on this evening, it's France at home against Scotland, hoping to make amends after their defeat to England last time out, while the Red Roses, unbeaten with 2 bonus points, take on Wales tomorrow from 12:30 and looking to make it 3 out of 3, firmly in the race to win the Grand Slam. So that's the matches on offer this weekend. Let's have a look at the table. And as I said, England 2 from 2 and the bonus points as well. A points difference of 59 to go with their 2 bonus point victories. Italy unbeaten at the moment as things stand, following their draw against Wales last weekend, where they really should have won it. A kick to take the game at the last second, but couldn't convert from underneath the post, and they will be hoping their streak, their unbeaten streak in this year's tournament, continues with a decent home crowd here in Parma, the home of Zebre Rugby, of course, the Stadio Sergio Lanfranchi, as they welcome Ireland, and hoping to gain victory against the Irish and the few fans that have made the trip over for the first time in history. So out come the teams then. The 2 captains leading the way. A beautiful night in Parma for a game of rugby. Points on the line, and the Italians looking for victory against Ireland in this championship for the first time ever. They have come close before, but I'm sure Ciara Griffin needs no reminding that her side need to keep on improving if they want to try and close the gap at the top of the table. Definitely a notable improvement in Scotland and Glasgow last time out for Ireland, where they claimed victory at Scotstoun from their opening performance, where they were well beaten by England. The Italians as well, with a decent win against Scotland away, and should really have put Wales away last weekend. Ireland will be well aware of that and the form of the home team. Try score from last weekend as well. Aoife McDermott taking her place in the lineup. We'll go through the teams in just a minute's time, but as you can see, a very healthy crowd here. Fireworks going off around the stadium. Perfect night for rugby. Conditions absolutely ideal, and we hope to get some running rugby and plenty of tries as well. Smiles all round. Home side hoping for victory before any of that starts off. We will have the national anthems, of course, and as is customary, we'll start with the visiting team and Ireland.
Primo l'inno nazionale irlandese. Ed ora, signore e signori, l'inno nazionale italiano.
Di Mameli, the Italian national anthem. You can see what it means to the players as well. A lot of emotion on the faces of the home side as they went through the anthem. And not long until kick-off on a beautiful night for rugby. Well, 2 changes for Italy coach Andrea Di Giandomenico from the draw against Wales, and both of those come in the pack, with Gaia Giacomoli replacing Valentina Ruzza in that front row, and Valeria Fedrighi into partner Giordana Duca in the second row. Plenty of seasoned internationals and familiar faces in the back line, including captain Manuela Furlan at full back, Sara Baratin at scrum half, and the centre partnership of Beatrice Rigoni and Michela Silari. So that's the Italian team. What about Ireland? Well, Adam Griggs has made just the one change to his starting 15 after that win against Scotland in Glasgow. The pack remains the same, with captain Ciara Griffin renewing her partnership alongside player of the match in Glasgow Anna Capus and open side Claire Malloy. The new face comes at scrum half, where Catherine Dane from Old Belvedere comes in to make her first Six Nations start, with Elsie Hughes making way. Try scorer Alison Miller keeps her place in the back three alongside Lauren Delaney at full back and winger Emer Considine. So a quick look at the replacements then for both teams. A huge boost for Ireland, you have to say, to have Lindsay Peat back fit and on the bench. The loose head recovered from injury and will be itching, I'm sure, to get some game time under her belt. As you say, Ruzza perhaps a little bit unlucky to lose out in the starting 15, but she takes her place among the Italian replacements.
Yeah,
referees from England, Laura Pettingale. The assistants today, Orly Grazello from France and Beatrice Benvenuti, who was the referee during Ireland's win against Scotland in Scottstown from Italy. We are ready to go. Fiona Coughlin, former Ireland international, beside me. What a day and what a night it is for Catherine Dane, making her first Six Nations start.
Yeah, a young player. She's spoken a lot by players in Old Belvedere like Norm Stapleton. Really rate her highly, and it'll be great to see her out here getting her first start, come through the Enniskillen ranks and now playing with Old Belvedere.
Herself and Claire Bowles, teammates growing up, started underage rugby together in Ulster, but it's the Italians who strike first. Silari, she missed that penalty to win against Wales. It's the last time I'll remind her of that, but a big carry again from Giada Franco, one of the standout players in the Italian pack over the last 2 rounds, and she's going to be a handful for the Irish back row today. The carry from Bettoni, winning her 51st cap, the hooker for the Italians, and straight away looking to attack the Irish back line. Out it goes from the hands of Giordano. Good tackle from Considine. Baratin in at scrum half to her fly half, Madia. And again, inside the Irish 22, the carry is from Giordana Duca. Another carry again from Franco, the open side. She is a handful, as I mentioned. Baratin, loads of experience. Baratin, gliding through the Irish defence, slicing apart and back on her feet. She released the ball, did she? And she gets the penalty advantage as well. Ireland not rolling away. Sending Upu too late in the Irish defence to roll away, and what a start by the Italians, Fiona Coughlin.
Super sustained pressure by Italy. Franco to the fore. She got her first cap against Ireland last year and she was very impressive off the bench, and as you said, first 2 rounds of this year's championship she's been hugely impressive. And Baratin using all her experience there, 87 caps, just seeing a gap and going through it, and here they are. Silari on her birthday has a huge opportunity to put Italy in the lead.
You know, you sometimes wonder when you see a team get that emotional during a national anthem, Fiona, whether they can transfer that into the opening few minutes. Sometimes it results in mistakes, but that was pretty clinical stuff from the Italians.
It was, and Italy over the years have been very inconsistent. You know, they beat France at home, they'd go away and they'd lose games you'd expect them to win. And I think Andrea Di Giandomenico is looking for a bit of consistency in their performances, and hopefully they'll bring it in front of a home crowd tonight.
Silari, has she banished the memory of that last-minute penalty effort against Wales to win the match that she really should have taken? I guess we'll find out in the next few seconds or so. First shot at goal, perfect kicking conditions as well, you have to say, and this for a 3-0 lead. She has banished that memory, she has wiped it from the memory. Beautiful strike, 3 points to 0, Italians lead.
Deserving 3-point lead for Italy, but I think Ireland needs to be more aggressive in their line speed coming up. It was a little bit passive at times that allowed Italy to get on the gain line and give them quick momentum. Here you see Franco with a huge carry again, and then that quick ball. Baratin spots the gap there, a little bit of a mismatch. Fowley went out a little bit far, that left Griffin under a little bit of pressure.
Perfect start for the home team, and Sara Baratin, what a run that was. Her 81st international cap at scrum half, and she is going to have a huge influence on how well this Italian team performs today. The number 9. Here's Nicole Fowley to restart the match. Goal regions fly half. Happy faces with a home support. Fowley drops it just shy of the 22. Took her eyes off that ball and it went forward as well. So unforced error, you'd have to say, and an ideal chance for Ireland to get their hands on that ball.
This is where you talk about the inconsistency. That ball should have been claimed right from the kick-off. They should have moved their body in under the ball, and someone should have claimed it. There was a little bit of lack of communication between who it was, and then a little bit of fumble of the ball. Great attacking opportunity here for Ireland, with a scrum that's been so dominant over the last 2 rounds.
Well, there is Elisa Giordano, the Italy number 8. I mean, handling not a problem for her, particularly in the line-out. She's 6 line-out steals in the championship so far, so it's unlike her to drop a ball like that. And Dane then to feed. Made a debut for Ireland off the bench against England. I'm sure we'll have happy memories to come, but Ireland can't get the scrum right, and that should have been a chance for Barrett's team to break.
Again, a little bit of an unforced error by Ireland. Lack control at the back there by Ciara Griffin. It probably was a bit of a strong strike that she didn't have it under control, but Ireland still here with the ball and another scrum.
So second chance for Ireland to get it right in that front row. Strong against Scotland. Held their own, more than held their own against England as well at the set piece here, but the Italians looking to get an early shove on the last time. Giacomoli, Bettoni and Guy against Feely, Rubin and Lyons for Ireland. Dane with the feeds. Again, look at the pressure from the Italians. A really good scrum, making life absolutely awkward for Crippen. And they come away with the ball. Chance to counter. Big hit from Nupu. 13 for Ireland. Smashes Beatrice Rigoni. The 12 for Italy. They're for a battered team. Plenty of runners to the right-hand side, and Ireland caught too narrow as well. Bettoni tries to break through the tackle. Little step off her left foot from Franco. Tackled by Capus. And on she goes. The Italian open side. Releases and allowed to pick again, and Ireland at the moment just being blitzed out of it at the breakdown. And told to hold their line. Madia goes left. And the pass as well from Solari is good to her full-back Furlan. 71st cap. So much experience in the Italian backline particularly. And they have exploded into this game. Tackle from Hooven this time. Playing a club rugby with St Mary's from Portlaoise originally. Hands from the number 8, Giordano. Presented well. Should be there for Duca. And she acts as scrum half to Madia. This is really nice rugby from the Italians. Solari. Decoy lines as well. Orange is struggling to read where that ball is going. Giordano carries it over towards the Irish 10-metre line. Again, Italy looking to use it. Lyons this time comes across to make the tackle. But Italy back inside. Beautiful. Oh, lovely. And the full back trying to go around the outside. Miller comes through. The offload is good to Franco. And the pass is even better to Muzzo. That is as good a try as you will see in the Six Nations Championship.
Sensational work by Italy. Just when it looked like they were going wide all the time, playing off 10 and off lot, they popped it back inside off 9, and brilliant support play by Franco. Again, she's the fourth to everything good that Italy do. She's a big ball carrier, but she can play ball as well.
What about that? How many players involved in that? Recycling, retention of the ball, and again the presence of Mike Tiana. The pass back inside here was what cut Ireland apart.
Yeah, they've been going long, and Furlan, she's one of the best players in the Six Nations in space, and brilliant vision by her to see to Franco. And here's a basketball pass out to Muzzo for a try. But again, Furlan, look at her in space. Miller tries to make a difference, but couldn't make it, and Muzzo in and over for the score.
Aura Muzzo, just too much pace to go round Lauren Delaney, and that is no less than the Italians deserve.
Yeah, they'd been playing it wide, they'd been playing it off 10, so the Irish interior defence was a little bit soft. That's what allowed the gap in between for the 9 to pop back inside to Franco.
Solari looking to make it 2 from 2. It's a tighter angle, but I tell you what, it's no problem. When you see her strike the ball like that, you wonder how she missed that kick against Wales. But the Italians off to a flyer, 10 points to 0, and we haven't even reached 10 minutes yet.
You know, I think Ireland are definitely a better team. I think they played better rugby at times, but you have to say in the first 10 minutes it's been very convincing by this Italian team.
Well, Ireland beats the Italians 21-8 in Dublin last year, and as I mentioned, Italy looking for their first ever victory against the Irish in this championship, but they've got off to the perfect start, and Ireland, I'm sure, a little bit shell-shocked by what they're seeing in front of them at the moment, and it's going to need all their experience to try and stop them. But I tell you, when you have Manuela Furlan, and she can do that in a phone box, stepping away from two Irish players, this is a confident Italian team. You can see why. Another carry by Melissa Bettoni, this time turnover ball. Lyons did really well timing that poach as she does consistently for Ireland. Here's Malloy trying to lead the charge back. There for Dane. Nice pass. Italian defence up quickly though. Fowley. Little step from Claffey. Tackle by Duca. And an advantage to Ireland. Oncoming penalty. Not rolling away after the hit was made. I think Bettoni, the last player to get to her feet there.
That's the first time Ireland have really been on the attack. They kept the ball quite well. They could have gone forward a little bit more with some carries. You saw Michelle Claffey with her trademark step back inside. It'd be interesting here to see what Nicole Fowley does. It doesn't look like she's going for posts.
Maybe just slightly out of range. There's no wind out there, but it is almost straight in front of the post as well. Going to find touch from this. Absolutely no return on that. What, 4 or 5 meters? I think the touch judge is even being a little bit generous there where the flag has gone up.
Yeah, you know, here we see Claffey step back inside. We've seen it time and time again in the AL, the Interpros and an international level. And there we see them flopping all over the ball, not rolling away, and Bettoni on top of the ball as well.
Lyons to throw. Decent take by Friday. And Ireland try and set them all. This is where they feel they might get some change. The experience that they have, it's with Capeless at the back, and then Dane says no, let's go. Considine takes the tackle. In over the ball was Bettoni. Lost her feet though and had to release. Fowley once more. Now Upu. Missed past Delaney, and here's the strike runner Miller. The mark to return to the starting team with a try in Scotstoun. And she held on to that ball pretty well. Friday once more. Advantage being played to Ireland. So they'll have a penalty and a shot to nothing here. Taken up by Griffin, the captain. Good carry by her. There for Dane. Fowley, crossfield kick. They might as well go with the penalty advantage. Considine, oh, beautiful from Considine. Plucked it out of the sky. What a take that was. And Ireland hit back with a try.
Fantastic work. Originally a brilliant carry by Ciara Griffin that got them the gain line. Absolutely inch perfect kick from Fowley. That made up for the kick to touch that she didn't get the distance she wanted, but brilliant reading by Emer Considine and taking the ball in the air, and a fantastic finish.
Yes, please.
She gives a thumbs up to her fly half for the kick. This is worth another look, Fiona.
Yeah, here we see it. First of all, she hits Ciara Griffin, who gets good gain line carries, driving legs in contact, good clean clear out. Fowley has a load of time. She sits nicely in the pocket and inch perfect. Probably a bit badly read by Italy, but I have to say the weight on that was perfect, and great take from Considine.
Superb try by the UL Bows winger, and Fowley now to try and add the conversion. And what a game we have. Italy full of running in the opening 8 minutes. Ireland hitting back in the last 3, and this to make it a 3-point game. Never caught that at all. Just seemed to rush it. Really swung the boot at it without much pause for technique, and that was the result. But you can see on the bench Lindsay Peets back among the Ireland substitutes. But another look at this beautiful kick.
Just shows what she's capable of, and you know, we said this time and time again, this is why she's starting at 10 over the likes of Ellen Murphy, who's more of a game player but playing on the gain line.
And we see, you know, Katie Daly McLean for England practices her kicking out of hand and goal kicking indeed ad nauseum, with the result that she's probably one of the best fly halves in the game at the moment. That one's been blocked down brilliantly by Franco. No time to catch her breath in this game. On goes Valeria Fadrighi, and it's there again for Duca. Leah Lyons trying to rip the ball out of her hand. Must roll away. Baratine. The Italians inside the Irish 22. Plenty of runners on the right hand side. They're going to go to the back line this time. Take on the inside centre. Rigoni gets the pass away to Solari. Ireland just trying to fan out and close the gaps. Franco, lovely offloads. Giacomoli to Bettoni, and it's the hooker who goes down. Another tackle by Leah Lyons. Back inside. Giordana Duca. Baratin. Franco leaves it. Solari is two on the outside. Furlan into the line. Muzzo has to be hit and stopped, and she is by McDermott. They go blind. Baratin, lovely. Franco for the line. Surely it is. Italy get their second try. End-to-end rugby union. Brilliant.
Some brilliant play by Italy. Even with the ball going to ground, you question Ireland's defence. They should be up, they should be snapping that ball. Italy were claiming they moved the ball out. And Franco's work rate is unbelievable off the ball. She's absolutely everywhere.
Well, she was instrumental in Italy's opening try. She was a huge part of this from the block down as well. And her work rate, Fiona, to get back in position and assist the try itself, and then get on the end of this move.
Good scramble defence there by Aoife McDermott, second row out there on the wings. But here she is. You see Franco working hard. Brilliant pass from Madia out to her. Ellen Dane covers across. Catherine Dane covers across well, but not enough to hold out Franco, who's a powerhouse.
Adam Griggs just trying to absorb what's happened in the first 15 minutes. It might take him a while because it's been action-packed so far after 15 minutes at the Stadio Sergio Lanfranchi. And Solari to try and add another conversion. This to keep her 100% record intact. She started outside the right post, has brought it back in beautifully. And Michaela Silari makes it 17-5 after 15 and a half minutes. Applause from the try scorer. What a game.
Yeah, you have to question Ireland's defence though. Twice in that phase, the ball was on the ground, twice by Italy with ball going to ground, and Ireland should have been up. They should have been hammering up hard in defence to just stop Italy with any gain line attack.
So 17-5, Fowley restarts, and Ireland again just looking to get territory. Giacomoli takes the restart. Here's Franco. Tackle by Huben. Ireland trying to put pressure. It's Rigoni who kicks. Ciara Griffin's back there, and again, it's not like her to miss those ones. That surely went forward. Surely went forward. Referee a little bit slow to blow the whistle.
I think she was waiting for her assistant referee to come in there. That's very unlike Ciara Griffin. You know, she was there, she was in a good position, and just thinking about what she was going to do next.
Well, here we go. 210 metres made from 28 carries. Tells the tale of the tape in the first 16 minutes or so. Ireland with just 7 and 50 metres gained. It's not a bad return from a smaller amount of carries, but Italy have just been dominant so
far.
far.
They've had the ball, they've had so much the ball. Ireland have had very little opportunities. In fairness, they took the opportunity they did have, but they need to get their hands on the ball a little bit more. It's very hard to defend for this long.
Please, yes. Keep the space.
Catherine Dane, welcome to international rugby. Do you remember your first start in the Six Nations, Fiona?
Yeah, I do. It wasn't pretty. It was back in the dark days.
Really? Well, it certainly didn't finish like that for you, Ireland. That's much better in the scrum, putting pressure on the Italian feet this time, and Baratin wastes no time getting it away. Pass was good from Brigoni, but the interception's even better from Considine, who skips away for her second try of the game. You can't take your eyes off her. You can't take your eyes off this match.
Really well read there by Emer Considine. She just was waiting. Italy were looking to go wide. They were trying to go wide with any forward momentum, which just allowed it easier for Considine to read it, but a brilliant pick off and a super try to keep Ireland well in this game.
Here we see it. The Italians lying deep, but Considine says thank you very much. Manuela Furlan, the attendant receiver of that pass, but Considine away. She, a former Sevens international, has pace to burn and they were never going to catch her with that head start.
Yeah, Emer took a year out last year, and I have to say she's come back more a complete player. Her defence has certainly improved, and her reading and understanding of the game has definitely improved. A lot of work has gone on in pre-season for her, on and off the pitch.
17-10 conversion from Fowley. He missed her first one, but this is straight in front of the post. It should be a formality. It is. Flags go up. 17 points to 12. Well, I tell you, traditionally, when these sides have met in the championship, it's been pretty low scoring. They haven't managed to get past 30 points between them over the past 3 years. We're already 1 point away from that barrier with 60 minutes still on the clock. So they're definitely going to break that run over the last 3 years.
And also, in all the last 12 Six Nations, Italy have never beaten Ireland. So for them to be in front at this stage is probably a first as well.
5 points the gap. 4 tries on the board already. 2 from each side. Kaitis with the carry. Fowley in behind. Now Upu. Just got it across slightly. Made the tackle by Michaela Serrari a little bit easier. Dane fires one out to Aoife McDermott. Railway second row. Back with Dane. Fowley again. Lyons to Capus. No relation of Anna Captus, who was the man of the match last weekend, and has just disappeared from the face of the earth. Carried by Houben. There for Catherine Dane, just a little bit slow coming back, and Italy just want to stay on side, trying to rush up and stop Ireland getting any momentum in behind the ball. There you go. High tackle and penalty Ireland.
Good sustained possession by Ireland. I think they were needing to look a little bit forward momentum, maybe a little kick in behind, but I have to say good positioning by the Italian back three. There's very few options back there, so maybe the space is out wider.
Fowley goes up the line, finds a good touch, much better strike on that one. Just go back to what Danielle Waterman was writing about Fiona in terms of the kicking out of hand and how Katie Daly-McLean practices it over and over, and that's why she's so good. It hasn't been a feature of the women's game as much as it has in the men's.
No, you look at the stats, not just out of hand, but kicking for posts as well. I think a lot of it is coming to the game later. A lot of players coming to the game later, not having the opportunity to have a kicking coach, which is very important. It's all well and good going out kicking, but you've got to kick it the right way. And
absolutely.
I think that's probably been lacking in the women's game, not just in Ireland, across the board, and it's specifically noticeable when they're playing. And you saw England against Ireland. Emily Scarrett's brilliant kick down for touch was absolutely a thing of beauty, but again, she's another player practiced consistently.
It's a really good point about the kicking coach as well. You just don't see it in the men's game. You wouldn't have a team without a kicking coach. As Ireland try and get the backs going here. Delaney, the intended, was that forward though. It was, the whistle is gone. It's a shame because there was a bit of room on the outside here. But the Italian defence doing its job. Alison Miller.
I think that was good work by Primo Tempo again, coming off her right wing, looking for that ball in to create another person out on the left hand side.
Move quick hands to get it away, and as you say, there's Considine. That was just the pass meant for Lauren Delaney, just a little bit forward. Again, Ireland putting pressure. Much better scrum by the visitors. They've won it against the head. Ciara Griffin breaks from number 8. Tackled by Ilaria Arreghetti. And there for Dane. Fowley. 3 outsider. Handoff attempts from Claffey, but she's tackled, and then Italy over the ball. Ireland have to release, and they don't. Really good work there by Giordana Duca, the Italian number 4.
Yeah, just when Ireland are looking to build a bit of momentum there, Dane's pass is lovely and quick off the base. We've got to get support players into the ball carriers that they can clear out the ruck quickly, that continue that quick ball.
The Bigoni finds touch just inside the Irish half, and this is worth another look. The carry again by Claffey, but just needed quick clear out, and as you say, the big figure of Valeria Fedrighi. Go to the back. Decent take. Giordana. Ball off the top to use. Trying to puncture a hole up the middle. Good tackle by Capeless. And she rolls away in time. Griffin making a nuisance of herself. Franco. 2 to bring her down. Should be there for Bala team. Options really all on the left hand side, bar 1. Penalty Ireland. How did Capeless come away with that ball?
Have to see a replay of that one.
Dane wastes no time. Ireland want to get on with this. Fouling to Naupu, carries a two-handed Miller. Back into traffic, didn't want to get squeezed into touch. Should be there for Dane to use. It is. Here's Malloy. Bit of strength from the open side for Ireland. Fowley. Lions. Try score. Another one against Scotland. From a shorter distance than she had the ball on that occasion. Fowley in behind to Naupu. Nice supporting run, but equally good tackle as well from Madia. Dane goes to the right. McDermott. Almost in touch. Can she stay in play? Beatrice Benvenuti keeps the flag down. Capeless tries the handoff. Support on her shoulder from Friday. Ireland just happy to keep the ball here. Fowley. Nice decoy run. And then the pass in behind. Naupu to Delaney. Miller gets hit hard by Awara Mutso. Try to score for Italy. Huben. Oh, that one, did it go forwards? It did. Frustrating for Claire Malloy, I'm sure.
Yeah, so unlike Claire Malloy. I think last week, by her own standards, she was a bit below par. She had a little bit of a niggle that was questionable whether she's going to play this week. Just looked like she wasn't expecting that ball. There was maybe something else called, and very, very unlike her.
She was still tugging at the ball. Yeah, that's fine.
Well, before kick-off today, the Italian defence had only leaked 2 tries in the championship over the first 2 rounds. Ireland have 2 on the board here. And Mella Furlan just having a chat with the referee about something.
I'm happy she was there first before the ruck. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
There was a knock on. You just don't see Claire Malloy make those mistakes.
I'll try. It's hard with the music, but I'll do my best.
But he's got to be happy. Andrea Di Giandomenico with the start that his side have made.
He's been involved in the team a number of years now. I think he sees the potential in Italian rugby and the growth of it, and I think he's seen definitely in the clubs there's more players coming through, but this is a squad with a huge amount of experience, and you know it's down to him that's seen them grow, and they've had huge wins, as I said before, against France, and you know if they got a scalp off Ireland tonight, that would be absolutely huge for Italian rugby.
There we go, first start. How do you think it's going for her so far? I'm sure the pace of the first 5 minutes might have been a bit of a surprise to her.
Yeah, it was a little bit frantic end-to-end kind of stuff, but you know, I think they're quite evenly matched. Ireland have sorted out the defensive speed a little bit in the last couple of minutes. It's very important they keep that integrity in their line, they keep coming up, you know, cut down those big Italian ball carriers, the likes of Franco. We can see when they want to spin it wide, they're quite deep, so it's important that we push up hard and to not give them as many options. And the scrum, bar the first scrum where Italy kind of had a little bit of the edge in Ireland, the last 2 have been really impressive, and Ireland powered over them.
Good to see from McDermott back on her feet. She's dispensed with the scrum cap. Irish second row. So second Friday attack down here. Free kick. Early engagement against Ireland. And Baratin says, I'm not wasting any time. Rigoni trying to get away from Fowley, and she does. And the offload to Franco was good. Capeless hanging on to her. That's going to be a back row all day long, isn't it? 2 of those powerhouses in the back row. And the soft hands. This is Duca.
Release green! Tackle mate!
Baratin to Madia. Rigoni. Kicking behind. Oh, almost spilled, but Delaney did well to recover her composure. Tries the handoff. Tackle by Fedrighi. There for Dane. Huben. Little dummy back inside and goes herself. Tackle hard Miller has to straighten. In over the ball is Franco. Can she be shifted? She's lost it, and the referee told to leave it. Capeless coming away with it.
Penalty advantage, Green.
Advantage to Ireland again. Shot from here. Might as well go for it because they do have the penalty to come back for. McDermott.
Yeah, yeah.
Fowley. Was advantage over? Wasn't. Let's go back for the penalty.
Again, Franco was in a strong position in over that ball, and just a second too long she hung on and fell off her feet then.
Beyond the ball.
I think there's opportunities for Ireland if they strike back on the blind side after a couple of rucks. Italy seem to fold open an awful lot, so you see here they all go to the left hand side and space back. Something that the Irish girls need to look at.
Fowley goes for touch, and Ireland with the line out just outside the 22. The Italians were walking around Parma city centre last night. It happened upon them when I was out having a stroll myself. They were at the old ice cream shop and just enjoying themselves, as you would expect. The eve of an international is all about just taking things easy, I presume.
I think it's good for the region and the area to see them out. They bid for this, so each region bids for it in Italy, and it's a huge thing for them to get an international game.
And that was a huge steal as well from the line-out. What a time to do that, as I mentioned. Elisa Giordano had 6 line-out steals coming into this game. Italy well used to poaching opposition ball. The lines just shoved out of the way. And for Baratin to Madia. Trying to break through. Lovely run by Arrighetti. Down she goes. Pick up by Rigoni. It doesn't make quite the same headway. Madia. Ironed up really quickly. Giordano. Good clean out by Madia. Back with Baratin. Oh, mistake from Franco. I haven't seen that too many times in this game. In fact, I think that's the first time she spilled it. Capeless. Put on the ground by Arrighetti. Huben, another dummy. It's one of those. Franco puts her down. Italy told to leave it. They've slowed the ball down though. Fowley is going to try and hit that right wing again. Constantine underneath it. That's the second time she's taken one, and they're sending Upu trying to use her strength to get past the tackle of Sofia Stefan. Dane, good pass to Feely. Ireland inside the Italian 22. Almost half an hour gone. Can they get the third try? Lyons. Straight over the top she goes, and penalty advantage, none coming. This is straight in front of the post. It's a handy 3 points if they choose to kick.
That was another unbelievable kick by Nicole Fowley. Brilliant weight on the ball, well read by Constantine. I'm sure it's something that they worked on. They had a free weekend last week that they were training away, and clearly that was something that they identified where Italy were weak. On the flip side of that, Italy are playing an awful lot of ball in their own half, when Ireland may only have 1 or 2 back in the defence from the backfield. So Italy probably should look to kick a little bit more. Rigoni has been kicking a lot for them in open play, so it'd be good to see her a little bit more. But look at this kick, well read again by Emer Constantine. Brilliant offload to send in Upu.
She had Claffey just inside her if that pass had gone.
Away.
Maybe just couldn't spot her, but it was a real chance. As you say, the take was brilliant, the kick really good, but just there, if she'd given that ball, Senni.
She stepped back the other way. I'm not sure whether she might have heard her, but she stepped back to the right hand side, and Claffey was in on the left, and she stepped infield. The option definitely was on.
So Melissa Bettoni, 51st cap, sitting up. Looked like she just took a knock to the chest and struggling to breathe on the ground there, comfortably at least. Good to see her back on her feet though. Made it tough stuff, and time is back on.
A number of these Italian players are playing over in the French league as well. Bettoni there is with Stade Rennais, and you know she's well rated in the French league, both for her set piece work and around the park. And we've seen her a few times tonight on the ball and carrying hard on the ball.
Giada Franco can only watch as Fowley lines this one up straight in front of the post. The kick. 1 out of 2 so far, 50% strike rate, and this to make it a 2-point game after half an hour. She's drilled it. Didn't leave anything to chance there. 17-15. Well, we were hoping for plenty of action, Fiona Coughlin, and we've certainly had a brilliant half an hour. So.
Yeah, it's been end to end. I think Italy definitely started the strongest. Ireland have come back into it a little bit more, going through the phases, looking for those opportunities. You know, I'd love to see them carry a little bit more on the gain line, really suck in that Italian team.
Take by Lyons. Taps it every inch of the way. Houben. It's another dummy back inside, and I think the Italians are onto her as far as that move is concerned. But it's worked though, because she sets up ball for Ireland, and Claffey try and push through the midfield. Quick ball from Dane. Really good passing action as well as scrum half, and you can see that's probably why she was picked ahead of Ailsa Hughes. Just maybe takes that fraction of a second more to get rid of the ball. But Dane, look at that little sweeping mode, flick of the wrist. It's exactly what you want from your scrum half. Houben carries. Dane again quickly on the spot to get Fowley going in the back line. So instead of Naupu, as Capers outside, and Naupu tried to go herself, and she's dragged to the ground. Well, we need to get rid of it now. Dane, were they offside, the Italians? Capers back on her feet. Another carry, this time Malloy, held by Giordano. Fowley took it off the ground. Friday this time. Tackled by Madia. Fowley. Considine. 2 tries in the game. But look at that, over the top from Solari. Surely the Italians will get the penalty. The referee says the steal was good and they have possession anyway. So play on. Brilliant by the outside centre for the home side. Valeria Fedrighi getting in a wrestling match with Laura Feely. Oh, brilliant. Griffin comes away with the ball. Another steal. This time it goes loose and the Italians give away a penalty. But Ciara Griffin, the captain, leading the charge for Ireland.
Italy might feel a bit hard done by not getting a penalty off Solari there. She was in a long time before they actually turned over the ball. But great work there by Ireland. They really took it to the gain line. Anna Capeless, then Griffin. And they get a penalty here, which brings them into a brilliant attacking line-out position. When you talk about the likes of Dane and Ailsa Hughes, they're both developing young players. You're also missing Nicole Cronin from this squad, who's still out injured.
Yeah.
But they offer different things. Like Ailsa's brilliant around the ruck and breaking and sniping, and great support play. And as you said, Dane, really that swift pass off the ground.
20 minus.
So, Lyons to throw. Line out for Ireland on this near side. Lovely take. And then Franco up really quickly. Here's the Irish 7, Malloy. Trying to duck underneath the tackle. Dane's going to switch the point of attack to the left-hand side. Friday with the pass in behind. There might be a gap opening up for Delaney if she can go through. She has gone through. Into the Italian 22. Capeless, little dummy. So strong on her feet. The 27-year-olds. Ball there for Fowley. Oh, beautiful missed pass. Claffey to Naupu, one outsider. Naupu, the pass to Considine. He's on a hat-trick for Ireland. Considine, was that high? Referee says it was. Advantage being played. Ireland trying to sniff out that try line and get another one before the break. Leah Lyons to Capeless. Tackle from Giacomoli. Queuing up on the left-hand side. Foley, quick hands might do it. Advantage still being played. McDermott still on her feet and still going. Half a metre short. Griffin, pick and go for the captain. Can she get it down? No. Another pick and go. There's a Capeless. Capeless scores again. Second game in succession. The Irish number 6. And Ireland lead for the first time in this game.
That's brilliant work from Ireland. They're carrying it hard onto the gain line. They're spinning it wide when they need to. And then wingers are carrying hard as well. They're working through the phases. Brilliant work. They penalty advantage there, but they kept playing. Griffin as well. Hard carries. Here we see Lawrence Lady ball in 2 hands. Spots a gap. Powers through the gap. Great support play in the ruck for Ali Miller that gives us quick ruck ball. Let's generate again. Here we see the ball going out wide. Sending Naupu, draws and past to Emer Considine. High tackle coming in here by Solari. Again, great resource in the ruck to allow quick ruck ball. And we just pick and go there by Anna Capeless. And again, Leah Lyons in tandem, driving her over the line.
Ireland in front for the first time. just over 4 minutes until the half-time whistle. I'm sure the Italians need to regroup, and they won't be too sorry to hear it. Conversion attempt on the third try from Ferry. Right-footed strike. 22 points to 17. Ireland 5 points ahead. And a round of applause for the Irish fans in the Stadio Sergio Lanfranchi.
This is a really good try. That had a bit of everything, spinning the ball wide, hard carries. You know, you have to say in the last couple of minutes Ireland have been out on top.
So Beatrice Origoni, to use the correct Italian pronunciation. For Dane, right out to Hooven. Farry once more. Trying to force a way through the midfield. Should be there for Dane. And up this near side, Alison Miller trying to find a bit of room. She was tackled. Another arm that was slightly high from Silati. Just got to be careful of that. As I say, the penalty advantage for the high tackle the last time. And it looks like we've an injury as well to one of the Irish players on the ground, but I think it's Claffey, is it, is down?
Yeah, it's Michelle Claffey down. She looks in a bit of pain, all right. It'd be interesting to see who'd come into the centres if she wasn't available. Yeah,
well, you've got Lauren Sheehan as a wing by trade, really.
No, I think you'd be moving Considine or Ali Miller into the centre if that was the case.
Let's see if she's okay to continue. Well, when last we saw this, it was one-way traffic for the Italians. Look how Ireland have come back into this. 56 carries, 436 metres made. So where the last time we showed you that graphic, it was the Italians way out in front and Ireland struggling to get into the game. They've completely flipped it on its head. Yeah,
the last 15 minutes has been all Ireland. You know, you keep the ball, you carry hard onto the gain line, and you're going to make grounds. See Ali Miller again, hard carry. Solari didn't release there. Don't know how Claffey hurt herself in that one.
So perhaps a decision for Adam Griggs to make here. It doesn't look good for Claffey. Just judging on her facial expressions there, looks in an awful lot of pain. I mean, we come into the championship, Fiona, there was a school of thought that it was England and France going for the title and everybody else playing catch-up. Do you still feel that that's the case?
I do, yeah, based on the performance so far. In saying that, though, France, you know, you could get them on a day, and I think travelling to Ireland, depending on what form they're in, I do think they're a better team than Ireland at the moment. They're more balanced across the team. But we saw 2 years ago when they came to Ireland, Ireland stood up and met them, and I think there's definitely, you know, they can be taken if they're not at their best, and you get into their head early on and they ask questions themselves and lose the plot a little bit.
Thank you.
It is Laura Sheehan that's going to come in. I mean, we could see Considine go to full back and Delaney come into the centre, but let's just see what happens here, because Sheehan, as we said, is a winger. It's her Six Nations debut, by the way, the 23 for Ireland. In she comes. I'm sure she'd want to do it under better circumstances than seeing her teammate Michelle Claffey have to go off injured, but let's see where she goes. Out onto the wing, and it is Emer Considine that goes into the centre, you're right.
Yeah, she would have played a bit of club level in the centres. You know, obviously her preferred position is on the wing, but she has a bit of experience there, and you know, she's threatening with the ball in hand, so it's just defensively that you might question whether she's going to be out of place a little bit, but that's where Senna Nupa comes into play, talking, communicating, telling her where to be at.
Big moment for Laura Sheehan, UL Bohemians winger for Ireland, Six Nations debuts. As said, that one went forward, advantage now. She might have to make an important tackle here if the pass goes out wide. It does go wide. Stefan still with ball in hand. Got a team. Italy looking to strike back before the half-time whistle. Fedrighi. Adighetti carries. Got a team to a fly half. There's Lucia Guy. If the pass had gone to Rigoni, she might have been in there. Ireland scramble defence now. Italy looking to use it. Madia. Leah Lyons puts in the tackle. Less than 2 minutes to play before the half-time break. Fedrighi, another big carry by the second row. Balatine to her hooker. Bettoni, 5 metres short. Ireland trying to get numbers on the left-hand side. Italy move this and they're in. Rigoni, the pass on the outside. Surely it must be Stefan in the corner.
Well worked try by Italy. They went from one side to the other. Lots of hands players, but that stemmed from what I spoke about. It's that disconnect. Constantine in the centre. She shot up a little bit hard. She didn't have her winger with her that originally created the gap. And again, when the ball went back on that side, there was another little disconnect that allowed Italy in. They had players over. Here we see a fumble from Ciara Griffin, unusual. Madia moved the ball, Rigoni, and there's that disconnect between winger and Sheehan Constantine and Sheehan coming up.
Yeah.
Brilliant carry there by Guy that got them over the gain line. Again, another quick ruck for them. Great presentation. And we see really soft Irish defence and a disconnect there between Delaney and Sheehan. And they had numbers, so there was nothing the Irish defence could do. You really have to make a decision there when you come up hard to put them under pressure. There's no point in shepherding them across in your own 5 like that.
Baptism of fire for Laura Sheehan. It was her winger that went in the corner, just couldn't get her down with the tackle attempt. We are locked and all square. And Michele Solari, who hasn't missed a kick yet, is to put the Italians back in front. Off the post, and there is the half-time whistle. Well, what a game of rugby we've had. 3 tries each. The Italians out of the blocks first, and Ireland struggling, but then Ireland hit right back, and then just before the half-time whistle, Sophia Stefan giving the home fans plenty to cheer about. A fascinating 40 minutes of Six Nations rugby. Don't go anywhere. We have the second half coming up, but the half-time score here at the Stadio Sergio Lanfranchi is Italy 22, Ireland 22.